So this week, it's quite an interesting setup. The Dow and the S&P 500, and to a lesser extent, but still there, the NASDAQ, looks like it could go off the charts. Now, I don't mean that overnight. I mean, it looks like that all the indices in the US have the possibility to go into a bull run that would take them a long, long way. Now, the American markets have been in a sideways channel now, and that sideways channel has pretty much been navigated by QT, which is the Federal Reserve taking cash out of the system. Now, that's all finished. The main reason for that is too much money came out of the system and the global economy started to go into recession. And you can see that all over the globe. Lots of developing countries in particular have been really hit hard economically. And that's because, at least in my book, the money that the Federal Reserve has been pulling out of the market by doing quantitative tightening, because the money in the global economy that QT has taken away has come from the periphery to start off with. That's pretty much started to come home. And you've seen that in the technical market called the repo market, where banks haven't been able to get the cash that they need to do their business. And the Fed has had to come out and pump lots of money in to keep the banking system running smoothly. And that has meant the end of QT and the beginning of perhaps a long-term QE, but at very least some QE. So it's gone from an environment for the world economy of money being sucked out to be money being pushed in. Now, that money, when it gets pushed in, goes straight into equities. So you're seeing that over the last 6-9 months, that there's a bend in the sideways trend that looks like it could break up to the top of that long-term sideways channel. Now, that would mean, without a doubt, if that breakout occurred, that the Dow and the S&P, and it looks like to a lesser extent the NASDAQ, which has already run a long, long way, could go on a big bull run. Now, I'm not a perma bull. I'm not the sort of person that says Dow 600,000, but it definitely looks like if this trend carries on, that the market will go on a very big run indeed. Now, you can't guarantee those sort of things, not with a trade war going on, not with an election coming up, but that's what the chart is saying. And you don't really want to argue with the chart too much. And you can see it here. That is a pretty suggestive trend, and a long-term one at that we could be on for another bull run that will last us a couple of years. Now, if QE is going to be there long-term, that is what will drive it. At the end of the day, if money goes into the system, it goes into assets. And the assets it goes into are real estate and equities. Now, real estate, that's having a hard time because it's very highly valued. Equities are quite highly valued, but they're not in boom bubble territory. And after such a long bull market, you'd expect that it would end with a bubble. And this is what we could be seeing coming up next in the stock markets in America. Now, away from America, the flip side of equities is crypto and Bitcoin, because equities up, Bitcoin down. Bitcoin down, equities up. If you want to run away from equities, one of the places you're going to go is into Bitcoin. And that's why it's kind of like the flip side of the equity coin. Now, Bitcoin went on a big run last week because the president of China said Bitcoin good. The moment he said that, Bitcoin went from $7,200 to just under $10,500, an absolutely massive move. But it's been falling off, and you can see the overall trend for Bitcoin is down. Now, if you wanted to be a bull, you could see there was going to be another breakout move and it'd go back over 10,000 and go to 12, 13,000. But looking at the chart, you would say that generally you'd expect Bitcoin to fall away. Now, the only thing that would stop that would be an escalation in the China-US trade war. And that may happen. No one says it can't. But also, in China, there's the possibility that Chinese investors will start to pile into Bitcoin because the government said blockchain, which is pretty much the same as Bitcoin in many ways, is one of the futures of China. That means for Bitcoin, the only thing you can guarantee is volatility, and we're going to get plenty of that.